All right, let's talk about how to get big. If you're talking about getting big, you need to decide, do I want to get big one time or do I want to make it a regular thing, a permanent thing? So how to get big? Most of the time you want it to be a permanent thing, but by not knowing, you race off in the wrong direction right from the beginning, and you kind of create a problem for yourself. And here's what I mean. You try, and the first thing that most people think is, I'm going to run out there and do it myself. Well, of course, you have to, if you're just starting with yourself, you've got to do it by yourself. That's no great wisdom. But if you continue to do it by yourself, it's going to be limited. You just continue to do it yourself, your results are going to be limited. You'll reach a peak, and then you reach a peak that you can do on a consistent basis. And then if you want to one time have a huge surge, we're going to get big, we're going to make a breakthrough. It'll be a breakthrough that is like a one-time record, because you'll have to basically stop sleeping and go morning, noon, and night, and you make a one-time record, and then you come back to earth, You come back to your same average. Because that's what you can do. Now, the second way, which is not as immediately obvious to people, is if I want to get big and stay big, and beyond that, keep getting bigger and bigger, how do I do that? How do I go into the big, big, big numbers? Well, it's a very tried and true formula, and it works exactly like this. First of all, of course, you have to start to do it yourself, but you've got to add people to your team and start duplicating yourself. And you build a team where, instead of continuing to do it yourself and driving yourself, I know what I've got to do, I'm just going to try and work harder and work harder and work harder. Well, you're going to reach the limit of that. But if you take those efforts, instead of just making sales, to recruiting people and training people, getting a 2-for-1 effort, you're going to start building a team. And here's the kind of team you're going to end up with. If it's a big team, you're going to get a lot of people doing a little. But once you get a lot of people doing a little, man in the masses is very predictable. So you pretty much know what they're going to do. Most people will never reach their potential. Most people say, no matter whatever their intentions, they say one thing, they do another. They get sidetracked. Whatever the bare minimum is they've got to do to survive, they'll get that done. So if you have a lot of people, you can at least count on them doing a little. But once you also have a lot of people, if you have 10 people, you're going to have one that's the best out of 10. If you have 100 people, one of them's going to be the best out of 100. If you have 1,000, one's going to be the best out of 1,000. So when you have a lot of people, you're going to find a few that do a lot. It's not because they're driving themselves or pushing themselves. They're just that much better. That's their arena. And so how do you find these few? Everybody wants these guys. But the only way to get these guys is to get the lot. Train them, give them potential, and then just let them see what they'll develop into. If you've got a bunch of kids and you want to get some basketball stars, you're going to have to give a lot of kids a lot of tryouts, and a lot of them who look like they could do it, and then let them emerge. See, these people emerge. You put the challenges out there, and they respond. So let's just take a look at a couple of quick examples. Let's go to a church. The church, they pass the plate. They're going to need a certain amount of collections to survive. They know that a lot of the people are going to give a little, but a few will give a lot. Then how about volunteers at the church? Let's just say volunteers at the church or at your local charity foundation. They need money, but they also need people to work, at the food bank and everything. Well, if they have a lot of volunteers, they're going to have a lot of people that give them a day here and a day there, one day a month, one day a week. But then they're going to have a lot of people who really get in and give them all their extra time. If you go out there and you look at teams, why do they have so many players on a team? Well, you're going to need a lot of contribution. You need people to back them up. But when you have your tryouts, you want to give as many people a tryout as possible so you can sort through people, because you give yourself a chance to find somebody who's really great at as many positions as possible. And it pretty much works through even businesses. If you have a business and you have people walk through the door, you're at the Gap, you're at Macy's, Sears, any kind of store, Staples, the office supply, any business, you're going to have a lot of people walk through that door. They'll buy one or two things, but if you have enough people walk through the door, somebody's going to walk through there, or they're going to buy computers, or it might be time to outfit their whole office, and they buy 10 or 20 computers, and one guy walks in, he might buy a chair, enough people walk in there, somebody's going to outfit their entire office. So that's what you want. You want to have, if you want to be big, have a big business, you've got to have lots of customers. If you want to have a big charity, like you have Lance Armstrong on the Livestrong thing, you solve cancer, you want to involve a lot of people. You want to run a political campaign. You want to get lots of people involved in contributing. The more people you have giving $5, the more people you're going to have giving $5,000 and $50,000. So that's how it works. You have in all of these things, it's a similar thing. You get a lot involved. They'll individually do a little, but from that you'll get a few who are the stars, and they will do a lot. That's how you get big. That's how you stay big, and that's how you continue to grow. And it's something you can do. You can get big by getting a lot of people in.